Imagine a tiny creature so small and elusive that it can slip through the world completely unnoticed. It's not just small, it's nearly invisible to the naked eye, hiding in places we rarely think to look. This creature is a master of disguise, blending into its surroundings and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. You can't see it with your eyes alone. Even if you tried, it would escape your notice, living its entire life in the shadows. Only with the help of powerful microscopes can scientists catch a glimpse of this mysterious organism, revealing a world that's hidden from most of us. This tiny being has a clever way of getting around. It hitches a ride on one of the most common insects on Earth, the mosquito. When a mosquito bites, this hidden enemy slips into the bloodstream, beginning a journey that can lead to a dangerous illness known as malaria. The culprit behind this is a parasite called Plasmodium stephensi. Under the microscope, it looks almost alien. Strange shapes and movements that hint at its complex life cycle. Plasmodium stephensi is just one of several malaria parasites, but it's especially dangerous. It's adapted to survive in urban environments, making it a growing threat as cities expand and populations grow. This parasite has a long history. It first appeared in South Asia, where it quietly infected people for hundreds of years. In crowded cities and rural villages alike, it found ways to survive and spread, becoming a persistent problem for generations. For a long time, Plasmodium stephensi was mostly limited to places like India and Iran. It seemed content to stay within these borders, but the world was changing. Increased travel, trade, and urbanization created new opportunities for the parasite to move. Suddenly, Plasmodium stephensi began to appear in new countries and even on new continents. Its ability to adapt and thrive in different environments allowed it to spread farther and faster than ever before, catching scientists and health officials off guard. This rapid spread has become a major concern for scientists around the world. Plasmodium stephensi is particularly skilled at causing malaria outbreaks, especially in places where people aren't prepared for it. Its resilience and adaptability make it a formidable foe in the fight against malaria. In the next section, we'll follow the remarkable journey of this tiny parasite. We'll uncover how it managed to travel so far from its original home and what its spread means for the future of global health. How does a microscopic parasite, invisible to the naked eye, manage to traverse vast oceans and continents, reaching places thousands of miles apart? The answer is both fascinating and alarming, revealing the intricate connections between nature, human society, and global movement. The secret to this parasite's journey lies in its unlikely accomplice, the mosquito. Far more than just a backyard nuisance, mosquitoes are nature's most efficient couriers, capable of carrying microscopic passengers over incredible distances. One parasite in particular, Plasmodium stephensi, has evolved to rely on certain mosquito species for its survival and spread. Inside the mosquito's body, the parasite multiplies and prepares for its next leap into a human host. Among these mosquito species, Anopheles stephensi stands out. Unlike many of its relatives, it thrives in bustling urban environments, adapting to city life with remarkable ease. It breeds in water containers, construction sites, and even discarded tires. Anywhere water collects in a city. As cities across Asia expanded rapidly, so did the habitats for these mosquitoes. Urbanization brought more people, more water storage, and more opportunities for mosquitoes to breed and multiply. This urban explosion created a perfect storm for the parasite. With more mosquitoes and more humans living close together, the opportunities for Plasmodium stephensi to jump from mosquito to human and back again multiplied dramatically. But the story doesn't end in the city. In our interconnected world, trade and travel have become highways for disease. Ships, planes, and trucks move goods and sometimes stow away mosquitoes across borders every day. Mosquitoes carrying the parasite can easily hitch rides in cargo holds, shipping containers, or even inside airplane cabins. Often unnoticed, they travel vast distances, crossing continents in a matter of hours or days. This accidental transport has allowed Plasmodium stephensi to reach new territories, far beyond its original range. Each new arrival brings the risk of outbreaks in places unprepared for this particular threat. One of the most concerning developments in recent years has been the parasite's arrival in Africa, a continent already fighting a fierce battle against malaria. Africa bears the brunt of malaria cases globally, with millions affected each year. The arrival of a new, urban-adapted mosquito and its parasite threatens to make the fight even harder. The introduction of Plasmodium stephensi adds a new layer of complexity to malaria control. As this parasite continues its journey, it challenges scientists, health workers, and communities to adapt quickly before it can claim even more ground. Plasmodium stephensi is a master adapter. It thrives in hot, humid climates, making tropical regions particularly vulnerable. Unlike some malaria parasites that prefer rural areas, Plasmodium stephensi has adapted to urban life. This adaptation is what makes this parasite so dangerous. It can exploit the very infrastructure we rely on. Water storage tanks, construction sites, and even discarded tires can become breeding grounds for the mosquitoes that carry it. Moreover, Plasmodium stephensi has a knack for developing resistance. This means that the usual tools used to fight malaria, like medicines and insecticides, are becoming less effective against it. The process of malaria transmission is intricate and fascinating, involving a series of steps that are essential to understand if we want to effectively prevent and control this disease. Malaria is not just a simple infection. It is a complex interaction between humans, mosquitoes, and the malaria parasite itself. By learning how malaria spreads, we can better protect ourselves and our communities from its devastating effects. The journey begins with a single bite from an infected female Anopheles stephensi mosquito. These mosquitoes are the primary carriers of the malaria parasite, and they are most active during the night and early morning hours. When the mosquito feeds on human blood, it is not just taking a meal. It is also acting as a vehicle for the parasite's transmission. As the mosquito pierces the skin with its proboscis, it injects saliva that contains the Plasmodium stephensi parasite. This parasite is microscopic and invisible to the naked eye, but it is the true culprit behind malaria. The injection happens quickly, and most people do not even notice when the parasite enters their bloodstream. Once inside the body, the malaria parasites travel through the bloodstream and make their way to the liver. Here, they find a safe haven, hiding from the immune system and multiplying silently. This stage can last from a week to several days, during which the person may not feel sick at all, making early detection difficult. After multiplying in the liver, thousands of new parasites are released back into the bloodstream. This is when the real trouble begins. The parasites now target red blood cells, invading them and using them as homes to continue their life cycle. Inside each red blood cell, the parasites multiply rapidly, filling the cells until they burst open. This destruction of red blood cells is what causes many of the symptoms associated with malaria, such as fever, chills, and anemia. This ongoing cycle of infection, multiplication, and destruction continues, leading to repeated waves of illness. Understanding each step of this process is vital, as it helps us develop better strategies for prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment of malaria. For decades, we have relied on anti-malarial drugs to treat malaria. These drugs have saved countless lives. However, Plasmodium stephensi has shown a worrying ability to develop resistance to these drugs. Drug resistance occurs when the parasite mutates or changes in ways that allow it to survive exposure to anti-malarial medication. This resistance can spread quickly, making existing treatments less effective. The emergence of drug resistance is a major setback in the fight against malaria. It highlights the need for new drugs and innovative approaches to tackle this evolving threat. Despite the challenges, we are not powerless against Plasmodium stephensi. There are effective ways to prevent infection and control its spread. One of the most important tools is the use of insecticide-treated bed nets. These nets create a physical barrier against mosquitoes at night when they are most active. Insecticide treatment adds another layer of protection, killing mosquitoes that come into contact with the net. In addition to bed nets, indoor residual spraying is another effective method. This involves spraying insecticides on the walls and ceilings of homes, killing mosquitoes that rest on these surfaces. While insecticides are essential, it's important to adopt a multi-pronged approach to mosquito control. This includes eliminating mosquito breeding sites around our homes and communities. Simple actions like emptying stagnant water containers, Clearing clogged gutters and disposing of waste properly can significantly reduce mosquito populations. Community-level efforts to improve sanitation and drainage systems are also crucial. Personal protection measures are equally important. Using mosquito repellent, wearing long-sleeved clothing, and avoiding outdoor activities during peak mosquito hours can help reduce the risk of bites. Combating Plasmodium stephensi and the spread of malaria is not just the responsibility of governments or healthcare workers. It requires a collective effort from individuals, communities, and nations. By understanding the risks and taking preventive measures, we can all contribute to reducing the burden of this disease. Educating ourselves and others about malaria transmission, prevention, and treatment is crucial. Furthermore, supporting research efforts to develop new drugs, vaccines, and mosquito control strategies is essential for achieving a malaria-free future. The fight against Plasmodium stephensi is ongoing. Scientists around the world are working tirelessly to develop new tools and strategies to combat this evolving threat. Research into new anti-malarial drugs, vaccines, and gene editing technologies offers hope for more effective interventions. Collaboration is key to success. Sharing information, resources, and expertise across borders is essential for developing and deploying new tools rapidly and effectively. By investing in research, strengthening healthcare systems, and working together, we can strive towards a future where Plasmodium stephensi no longer poses a threat to global health.